Hi everyone, I'm Camille at Marula, and today I'll be making a goat's milk soap. I started mixing my room temperature oils with my room temperature goat's milk and lye water. I brought it to trace and then I added a little bit of fragrance. Up until now, I've only really had my unscented goat's milk soap, but I really like the way that it feels on your skin, so I thought I'd play around with a little bit of color and fragrance. So that's what we're doing today. So once my batter was to a thin trace, I split off 3 separate amounts and poured the majority of my batter into my slab mold so that I could do a drop pour. If you'll notice, my mold is lined with parchment paper. I don't know if I've addressed it in the past, but it's important to line your mold, otherwise you'll wreck it or you run the risk of leaking through the edges. This particular parchment paper liner is leak proof, and I don't know if I've posted a video yet, but if I haven't, I'm going to pop one on there so that you can see how I make them. And I called this bar Milky Way, so I wanted to work with a little bit of blue and black. And then I decided my third color was going to be a really pretty aqua green. And you can see here that in that short amount of time, it's thickened up to a nice medium trace for me to pour, so that my color doesn't end up falling all the way to the bottom. And then I went ahead and gave it some character with a coffee stir stick. I inserted it all the way to the bottom so that I was moving all of the color instead of just at the top, which I usually do when I'm finishing off one of my smaller loaves. I'll just swirl the top so it doesn't interfere with my pattern, but I don't really have a pattern on the inside of this batch, so I went ahead and just inserted my stick all the way to the bottom. And then once I had that finished, I went ahead and I popped the whole slab into a cool room with the window open. It's kind of cool outside right now, so that helped it to move really slowly and not heat up. Otherwise, I would run the risk of cooking my goat's milk and ending up with either a whole brown batter or having it, heat up in the center and move its way out, so like a brown splotch in the center. And I wanted my colors to stay nice and bright, so I kept it cool until the majority of the saponification had happened, and then I moved it into my soap room to let it finish off overnight, and I was able to cut it the following day. So with this pour, my focus really was on the top of the mold of the slab, like the surface. My design was meant for the surface. However, I really like the way that the drop pour came through and the way that the sides of the bars look too. So win-win. And this is as small as my bars are gonna get. Once they're dry, they'll probably be hovering around 8.5 ounces, which is actually a really big bar. And if they're kept to dry properly between uses, they'll last a really long time. Then I just went ahead and tidied up the edges. Once they dry, they'll be nice and hard, and this just makes the first use a little bit nicer. So yeah, I really liked the way that they turned out. I was a little worried for my first couple batches about not getting enough texture and character on each bar, but you can see that wasn't a problem, and I was very pleased with the way that they turned out. Especially also because I didn't end up with any discoloration from the goat's milk or anything else. So yeah, very happy. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a wonderful day.